As for the writing, we never worried about the larger universe.
More like Cap. It's like
later
fit into place, and that's just a tricky target to hit.
They're willing to try different things.
There was a lot of input.
Storyline most profoundly.
Steve?
The first person to go is Bucky Barnes, and it's shot from Captain America's perspective. You know, we're watching Cap go through the experience of watching him go away.
They're the people for the job.
I can't, but the Russos, they're bad.
I know you have found something. A sense of peace. Okay, now you are going too far now.
With Marvel.
We're gonna be doing these big wide shots.
And have an emotional catharsis.
I thought I was cooking. I thought I was going so quick. There was a real opportunity.
That's what would make this unique, in a way that we oftentimes don't have time to do in films, connected for the first time.
As the emotional depth of these characters, effects and explosions and all that stuff.
Not exactly a badass.
What?
Embedded in our journey for both characters.
Walker! Help me! I think she just saw this as the main thing that stood out to me was
to something that's bigger than you. Kevin and the rest of the Marvel team's mandate, but the storytelling is inherently spread out. I feel, and that horizontal break with the characters and their relationships, every iteration of show we did, that maintained and actually got stronger.
No, you can't call me that. Steve knew me longer, and he had a plan.
That both Sam and Bucky in the show explore.
And we merged some of that so that it...
I told you specifically that what was not the problem, and yet here you are.
In our defense, we were supposed to have this done way before you woke up.
Well, I don't come to the sky to tell you how to barrel roll or whatever, so you don't come down here and start messing around with things you clearly don't understand.
And allow Bucky to process the events of his life in a way that he hasn't had time to.
Introducing the characters in a new way, and yet making you still be aware of where they come from. You know, I always think with these movies, every time I come back, I'm always like thinking, okay, what if a fan sits down and watches? Like, are they going to be able to see that same character throughout and then see what's his life going back to Brooklyn, you know? How is he meeting people? How is he interacting at coffee shops? Is he dating? Is he like...
So this series is now his first chance to deal with that. Whether or not he really is a killer in his DNA, like, am I even cut out?
There's always going to be a darker side to this character, which I always loved, and is, to me, what made him more interesting and complex. And, you know, like life, I feel like...
Bucky is very much trying to come to grips with
Avengers.
The Winter Soldier and Falcon are incredibly watchable as a reluctant team.
Hey, John! How'd you find us this time? I didn't want to do it like that.
It's been not just fun, very emotionally charged at times. And then as, you know, Sebastian and Anthony get a hold of the material, they embrace it.
I gotta say, this is a very bad boys too.
Two-handed don't mean just these two characters. There's a spirit and an energy that comes from a two-hander.
Working with Anthony, I mean, like, there are definitely days where I feel like
We have to get it with the light.
all right, just want to make sure
It establishes the location. He's never, this is
Two
first.
of them are so good and going on a path of discovery.
Quiet!
And Daniel Brühl the same. Oh my gosh, the three of them together are at times so hilarious. I have to kind of pull them all back and...
meaty scenes and time to spend with.
that neither Sam Wilson nor Bucky Barnes has, and we felt that was important so that John Walker stood apart from these two characters. And to some degree, John Walker is coming in...
So that the actors have an opportunity to...
We brought everybody back.
It gave us a certain kind of energy, which we're all up against such...
And figured out how to mount this production. You know, I will say a credit to them, make it work seamlessly with the stuff that we shot in Atlanta.
Where the homeowners would step out their back doors and there was this rail track running literally 2 feet away from their back door. This is called the Brass Monkey Bar. Look at, with the fixtures, being able to not to light the set, but have a cool ceiling, a geometric ceiling.
Sebastian is great to work with because he really, why are we picking these things? And because he's sort of newly in the modern world, I try to make it feel
as
these three guys dressing up in a very different way.
We have to do something about this. I'm the only one who looks like a pimp.
It was fun to have these couple of scenes with the full outfit, you know, with that incredible coat.
We created this arrives kind of out. We started dreaming up this sequence.
Trucks that would run on air a little bit, and you would have people fighting on those. Then we got real trucks. We're shooting in Atlanta, and a blue screen that we're going to replace the background now becomes a complete digital environment. So digital mountains in the background, all sorts of German trees, everything needed to be touched. Bucky is hanging onto the side of a truck with spinning wheels right by his head. They're completely digital. The road is completely digital.
Could've used that shield. The history of the Howling Commandos.
or the upper torso and his face.